G'day and welcome back to Ranless Z, where we are heading out back to try and get our Zubmarine, or at least the thing that we can turn into a Zubmarine. What we need to do is we need to basically head back to Port Carnelian. We are going to take a little bit of a detour as we do that. We want to kind of step through as much of the unexplored areas as possible, and we will stop at every island we can that is kind of on the path, on the grounds that we want stuff, and stuff is useful. So we'll also do things like murder crabs, because they're kind of cute to murder. I think this is an interface issue. I should kind of report that as a bug. Whoops. Yeah, I'm easy to lose sight of, crab. There we go. Dissect for knowledge. I mean, I would, if we hadn't literally just eaten, I wouldn't have dissected it for knowledge, I would have eaten it. But we did, so it kind of wasted time. Oh man, there's so many things that we could do. If we only had a Zub. But we're not going to, because we don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to chat to the fisherman, spend your cash, and we're going to go to this midnight ceremony. Warm night on Mutton Island, a balmy wind blows from the east, rich with promise. There are torches bobbing up and down the hills. Whatever's happening, it's for locals only, but you could follow them. You don't know the cliff paths like the locals do, and you have to climb more than walk. Your skin is sheened with sweat by the time you reach the top. They've started without you. How rude! An elderly fellow wears a feathered headdress and not much else. He seems to hold the lead. Seems to be leading the ceremony. One assistant holds an ear of corn. Where did he get that down here? Another a stone, another a clay tablet. The elderly priest addresses them all to his congregation. You catch snatches of it. The drowned man is not a god, the villagers hiss a reply. He came from the north, and to the north he will return. Another reply. The north is too cold for gods. Too cold for gods, they intone delightedly. Finally, they nod in agreement. The circle turns as one to grab one of their number, a man or woman with a lamp. They carry him or her to the precipice and hurl the flailing body over the edge, down into the oily black waves far below. Their business done, the locals remove their robes and wander amiably back to town. They all seem quite jolly. Apparently the night's business went well. They retreat to the Cock and Magpie for a pint. Yeah, okay, I can see why that increased our terror and gave us a tale of terror. Interesting thing is, that doesn't get rid of the person. Death is not, in many places, is not permanent in the Neath. And that's not just, well, it is at least partially just so they could have a game where dying wasn't the end. And by that I mean Sunless Sea. Not Sunless Sea, Fallen London. But, the reason why it's more of a permanent end for your Z captain is, you generally will be drowned and eaten here. But if you're on Cliff's Edge, you're probably fine, mate. Fine. Okay, do we want to bother with the Crimean Canal? Probably not. Do we want to bother with this fish? Probably not. Oh. I don't want to deal with either of you. Yeah, it's definitely a weird interface screw. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Abbey again. Yeah, see, it's looking for us. I'm really glad I have high veils. Hey, do that. Because that just makes it so much harder for things to chase me down. Boop. Abbey Rock. Compile a port report. Watch the convent. Another strange catch. Cool. I'm not wasting my news on you guys again. 2 terror. Really? Honestly? You think that's worth anything? We can't compile port reports on that anymore. So we'll just pop down. We're just gonna hug the shore. Reduces the speed at which we gain terror, but without really, and allows us to benefit from the reduced reduced fuel consumption. And there we go into here. Ah, that's right. We ran into that wreck before. The wreck of the Miko. Is that going to be on the map? Doesn't look like it. But that is something I think we can explore with the Zub. Okay. Fantastic. Something awaits us in port. Come on. Sorry. I will constantly flick to and from the map when I'm kind of just trying to explore. Really wondering where the salt lines are this game. Because if you want cash, salt lines make a really good newbie cash generation mechanism. And I do not want to deal with you, sir. No siree, that would take so much time. Until I get a better gun, you can just stay where you are. Just don't do enough damage. Yeah, the aim will be to try and cover more of these on the way back. Here's another abyss. Mercurius Deep, yep. Yeah, look at that. Frickin' 400. For real? That is just too many 100. You know what? Let's go for the Dawn Machine. Oh, Castle Clare. That does not have a port on it. I was wondering what that does. There's no text. This is the Dawn's Edge. So one of the interesting things is it is possible to leave the map via each edge. I've done it on one captain. At the time there was no in-game reward beyond like a little achievement-y thing. Let's turn off our lights. If that thing discovers us, we are boned. So, let's try and avoid that problem. Ah, right. Grand Geode's down here. Yeah, we're not going to cover in that square this time. That's fine. I mean, it's just a square of the map. But most of these things, if they hit us, will do a surprising chunk of our health. And these things have ranged weapons, right? So it's basically a matter of trying to not be seen. So port report, definitely. I'm not going to get that, but we can have another chat. Oh wow, okay. That does increase our yearning each time. I do not want to keep doing that. I want to go to the surface at some point. And I don't know if it's ever possible to reduce yearning and burning. So that basically means it's never worth it to me. Okay, Port Carnelian. We can head south here to try and cover that last piece. And come on, south. Thank you. I'm really glad we upgraded the engines before we left. Because, I mean, the engines are just... well, speed is so useful. And there's our mines. Yeah, of course. These are the mines that were mentioned. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see some of the features on the land. Even though there's nothing else. Part of the south beneath glimmers above the Mountain of the Light. A Mountain of Light. Which is a pseudo sun source. Because oddly enough, the Neath is dark, yo. Ooh, what are you? I mean, I don't want to fight you. Oh, that's right. The Hemistash. They've got a giant mo. But yeah, not until I get a better gun. And or better iron. Because iron affects how much damage you do. And iron is my worst stat. I mean, I could talk to the irrepressible cannoneer if I wanted more iron. To be fair, I've got some secrets to spend. The hidden workshop. Have some cash! Okay. Behind... Yep. There we go. Behind the Blue Bazaar by night, a gang of cravated criminals assemble. For a sum of echoes, they'll appropriate a crate of necessary materials for you. They ask no questions, and the crate is delivered to the workshop by morning. Hey, we got it to more than 100. Phase 2. Retrieve a set of sonar schematics. The engineers have reached an impasse. It's the sonar. It's unreliable, loud, and stops working below 70 fathoms. But the Admiralty Incarnate must have cracked this back in the day. The engineers brim with conspiracy theories about old submarine programs. Before the agreement about nothing of consequence, the London's Admiralty conducted their submarine research at Station 3. The location of Carnate's research base is unknown, but a number of scientists relocated to Khan's Shadows. Surely one of these two places has it. Ah, well, yeah, that seems like something we can totally facilitate. Let's go for the talk to a tiger in the Blue Bazaar. The Blue Bazaar is Port Cornelian's great indoor market, arched, lofty, plush with patterned carpets, where all the vendors display their wares. Most of all, awash with gossip. The tiger chats about the banded prince in their supposed monarch and his palace deep within the jungle. You lever the conversation onto the state of his people. He has no complaints, he says. Not even about the recent reinstatement of the travel restriction on natives, nor the report of a tiger killed at the jungle's edge. His tail flicks. Okay. And because we got stories await you at port, we do have the opportunity to pan for sapphires again. What if I talked to you, sir? Let's spend a secret and increase iron. Yes. Yes. There we go. Lost a secret, gained an iron. Yeah, no, I mean yes. Oh my god, no. Okay, sweet. We'll spend, say, 5 secrets this way. There we go. Perhaps not. And now, in Port Cornelian, what are our chances? That increased it by 4. It's possible we already had 51 iron, in which case it increased it by, for 3 or something. But anyway, let's do it. We failed. We gained 1 Tale of Terror and 1 Terror because we were ambushed by tigers. Fair enough. That seems legit. Okay, now, where are we headed? We're headed to Station 3. So what we'll do is we'll duck right a little. You guys, are you enemies? Crawling things. Let's do that. Yes! We will not actually look at things this time. Velton's Vortex. No, we already knew about that one. There we go. Adam's Way is to the south. We don't want that. Okay. Up north. At the very least, we'll duck by the artist's room. Here is kind of how it goes. The travel I always do in this is really zigzaggy to try and cover more of the map. But we're going to head up. We're going to duck by the artist's room probably and go to Station 3. And then we'll head back via the Shepherd Isles. And then we haven't really been to as many ports, but we also haven't used as much food. So it probably should balance out. Worst case scenarios, I just sell some heirlooms to fund this a bit more. We also don't have the advantage of the cache of supplies because we don't have our beginner's luck anymore. So it may mean that I actually do need to spend some time searching out the cargo opportunities that exist. I just need to find salt lines. It's really like salt lines and Mount Palmerston, because both of them are great ways of reducing your costs. So we'll gather intelligence and visit the village, and they didn't change. See, some ports will have random things that occur. Other ports, maybe in fact that is a random event or random possibility, and we just were unlucky enough to get the same thing multiple times. I don't know. I guess that's the thing to find out. You would be a big old crab, is my prediction. Calling it here, big ass crab. Okay, is this the coral? Let's see what's over here. Also, I really should check. Gazetteer, journal, there anything that we're after? Favors, done some favors, Iron Republic, memoirs, menaces, objectives. The Admiralty wants us to go to Polythreme. Right, that's what I thought was the case. This says we should go to Iron, which is in the top right hand corner of the map. We're not doing that yet. He wants us to get stuff. They would like us to do something. And this is, yeah, Venturous Desire. Okay. Ah, here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Ah, yes, the Fathomless King, whatever. Promisee, Lorcan's Port, etc. Fathom King's Hold. Lorcan's Port, named for the most enterprising of drowsings. Phosphor burns green. Somewhere below the king awaits. Let's get ourselves a port report. First things first. Those granted audience return dazed and awestruck. The king is not generous, but on occasion he's fair. We can permit shore leave. Probably won't. Looks like there's some other things that we can do here once we've got a Zub. Or if we had Scintillac. Well, we don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to descend for an audience with the Fathom King. The porter has the skin of a shark. She is a drowned woman's eyes. It's not permitted to look at her hand. Yes, that story is sufficient. She opens the valves of pearl and permits you to pass into the conduit. Oh, by the way, for reference, the Fathom King is the Lord of the Drownies, those dead who won't stop swimming. By some accounts, is the Lord of all who die at sea. Bring him a story to tickle his curiosity. And then what we want is... do we want to ask for a boon? Or do we want to watch a crocodile masked visitor? Let's ask for a boon. Rosy flesh, the king intones. One from the water. Taste it in good health. He waves a gracious hand while his waters thresh. The audience is over. As you return, crab slaves carry ice boxes filled with fresh meat, pink as dawn. So we've got supplies. Unfortunately, our sailors are somewhat terrified. So that is not ideal. And in fact, giving them shore leave made them more terrified. Let's keep that in mind. So that indicates we also should be looking at moving back to London. Not in the not too distant future. Okay. Up and to the left. Shine light on this to kind of discover it. And yeah. Up to station 3. Oof. No, no, no. I do not want you. I mean, I could probably fight these things, right? Especially if I pay more attention and focus on what I'm doing. I just don't want the time and effort that is involved. We'll go to Station 3. We'll get ourselves the intelligence we need to make a Zub. Oh, we're close to the Salt Lions. Fantastic. Okay. We will go to the Salt Lions after this. All clear. Thank you very much. Okay, inside the little gate. We don't have a long box for the Acolyte. But we do have Shed 12. A long, low-boarded building propped up against the wall. Boarded windows, a rusting padlock. Your bosun shatters the lock with a ball-peen hammer. Inside, your lamps reveal dust-choked workbenches strewn with discarded tools, shelves of cardboard boxes filled with rivets and bolts, washers and screws, blackboards rough scrubbed. Here is an old lunchbook. It's half-eaten sandwiches encased in successive generations of exciting fungus. In a rusted filing cabinet, you find the documents you need. A folder of tea-stained research into Zonar. You leave the rotting workshop quietly and return to your ship. The next time you sneeze, your handkerchief comes away black with the workshop dust that crept into your lungs. Okay, return to Port Carnelian to complete the research. Sounds great, but I'm not doing that. Back to the dock. Inside the inner gate, is there anything else? Nope. Did I get there without anything awaits me at port? I think I may have. So, what we're doing is we're headed to the Salt Lions. If nothing else, knowing that we are near the Salt Lions is fantastic news for my ability to just continue financial viability. Yes, baked breeze rises out in probable scent of some distant deserts. You're close to the Salt Lions. Here we go. Here are the Salt Lions. Salt Lions are big-ass statues. That's basically what it comes down to. Two big-ass statues in the Z. They are quite impressively large. But the thing is, someone's mining the Salt Lions for reasons that I don't actually know and don't care too much about. But so if I go to Zealport, I can help them in their mining operations. And I kind of want to do that. Wow, I really misjudged the ratio of fuel to supplies. Okay. So yes, the Salt Lions, two basalt beasts, cathedral-sized. They frown eternally at each other from across the black waves. The north one carries an encampment. Creeping human figures eat away at its features like rot. Picking. There's a supply dock below. So we can carry Sphinx Stone. We don't have the cash to carry Sphinx Stone. Bugger. Alright, well, that gives us an alternate objective. Or possibly something for me to do off stream, is to basically do the Salt Lions quest for a bit. Because it may take a deposit, but we've got the capacity, and this allows us a way of gathering a larger amount of cash quickly. Because it's basically ferry between Salt Lions and London, which in this case it's one of the more distant Salt Lions, but whatever. And you get a bunch of cash for each delivery, and if you upgrade your ship to one with a bigger hold, you can basically do it faster. There is a limit to the number of deliveries you can make, but I mean, it's definitely a decent supply of cash money. I could fight them, but it'll just give me cash, and it won't. In general, it's just not worth it. All clear. All clear. Maps. Ah. So the problem is, I actually have a I have the keyboard on the other side of the microphone, so I keep wanting to do things, but not being able to actually reach for it. So, yes, the Shepherd Isles. That's definitely something I would like to do. And you know what? We'll murder these guys too. These guys only have 30 hull. 2 hits is definitely worth it. Loot and scuttle, cash. What's in the cash? Fuel. 1 fuel. That is slightly more than the time and effort that it costs to do, so woo! Shepherd Isles. We may even, like, how much is fuel on the Shepherd Isles? If it's less than 40, it's worth buying. So, course, no actual sheep. We already went through that. Well, let's find out the tale of 3 graves this time. The shell in it, right? They're hunters. They killed the turtle the size of London, built their city in its shell. The ship from the shell in it came by, hunting midnight whale. 3 of them had died cowards, so their bodies couldn't go into the Z. They paid us for land and whale ivory. Still got a piece. Keeps it safe. Okay, got a Z story. That's nice. And we'll get that port report. So we can lie to London about what's happening here. Because reasons. And then we'll just go back. Go straight back. Like, we've already been to Martin Island. I don't think it's worth the fuel to go there. And since we've got a high terror, we should be able to halve it by going into London. So, that'll do. Let's see how far we get. Lights off, full steam, not burning extra fuel, because I don't think that adds to fuel efficiency. Let's see how quickly we can make it back to London. And ideally, how fuel efficiently we can make it back to London. Because we definitely need that fuel. Okay, Martin Island didn't take long. I'm pretty sure we can get there on no fuel consumed. So that'll be good. And then we'll hand in our port reports and get some cash. And I'll leave it there for the moment. Yep, so something awaits us at port. Yep, okay. Nope, we're making it. We're totally making it. I like that, in fact, if you run out of fuel here, and it'll pop up in a moment, one of the things that you can do is you can pay an exorbitant fee to get back to London. Here, see? Offer of assistance. Salvage rights, basically remove your ship and something minimal. But you'll at least be alive, or pay the towing fee. 100 echo towing fee to get from there to there. Oof. Rude. Very rude. Alrighty. We're back home. The revenue men. Okay, let them do their worst. We got nothing illegal, so that's all fine. Or we could declare goods, but we got nothing illegal, so that's fine. Or we could talk our way out of the search, but we got nothing illegal, so that's fine. We could also just set something aside. We've got no suspicion as far as I'm aware. Let's just let them do their worst. Nothing. Because there's nothing to find. Breath of relief. Yes, see? Terror 51, so what dreams may cling drops it down to 50. Okay. And we didn't lose nightmares. I collect messages from the harbour master. Something's changed, someone wants to sign on, we got a free evening, and Rose Market bustles today. Fine gift for you, Captain. So this is the one-eyed man, the blind bruiser. This guy, if we deal with him, we're definitely kind of selling our souls, but it's quite a nice gift, honestly, and we will probably be able to achieve the things he asks us to do, so I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll totally accept it. 10 fuel, 5 supplies, and we are suspicious. Okay, cool. And, like, he will come and basically say, you need to do this. And if you return to London without doing it, just don't return to London without doing it. Alright, so let's go to the Admiral and let us sell things to him. Port reports. Go to the flunky. And boom, submit as fact. Yeah! Still getting favor from doing that. Brilliant. And more fuel and more cash. Abbey Rock. Same deal. Addershroom. Yep. Port Cornelian. Fathom King's Hold. 30 fuel and more favors. Grand Geode. Because, hey, why not? And yeah, we're actually almost at capacity from everything we've got. Salt Lions. And then Quaker's Haven. And because of all that, we are basically at capacity, ready to set out again. It's not really an ideal ratio, but it's fine because we could probably go to the Iron Republic, get some fuel, and then go from there. We don't want to talk to the Admiralty. We can go to Rosa's Wharf. Tattooed Courier. Nope, don't care. Escort some acquaintances to the Rose Market. Why not? Let's see what's there now. We don't want to sell things. I kind of want to buy things, but I can't really do that here, can I? I mean, I can buy these things, but they're not actually very helpful. And yeah, that's right. We've just got the basic gun at this point. At some point, we should look at getting probably not discouragement, denunciation. That sounds good. Because right now, we're using a gun that does 8 damage, and this thing is basically twice as good. Unfortunately, it's also pretty expensive. Could probably sell an heirloom, actually. Maybe I'll do that. Let's just, is it worth that, doing that? House of Vision, that's right, we got the blazing lamp. You know what? Let's do this. Let us rest in our mansion to reduce terror and give us restful nights. Oh, and this is how we lose yearning burning. Fantastic. Oh, that's good. Oh, also that cost us a lot. Right, that was a very nice restful period, and it also lost us a lot of terror, but I don't really want to do that often. Sell off an heirloom. Boom. Ton of cash. Excellent. Shops. What I do want is to buy a new gun. So if we go to the shops here, we go to Iron and Misery. No. Cabinet, naval surplus. Torpedo nets is probably not a bad idea as well at some point. But what we're going to do here is we're going to sell this hunk of junk and buy this hunk of junk. Because the torpedo gun has ammo. I don't like using weapons with ammo. Majesty. Alright, because that's a forward weapon. And right, so I probably would have gotten Majesty if I didn't have, if I had a forward slot. But this ship that I have of mine, my ship, does not have a forward slot. I could look into getting like a Corvette or something along those lines, which would definitely help. It definitely boosts a bunch of things, but not right now. A Corvette or a cruiser is definitely kind of where I want to go, or even an eschatologue, but I just, do not have nearly the cash to get this. This is not cheap. Even if I sold all of my heirlooms, I wouldn't be able to afford it. So, what was that? I was buying things. And so, I was buying a gun for the shooty bangs. Admittedly, we'll eventually get a better gun if we follow his quest. But right now, I definitely want that denunciation. Ship a hold. Oh, strange catches take up space? Right. I'll have to keep that in mind. Because I want 7 of them, but I don't really want 7 of them if it's going to take up that much space. Does anyone want to buy strange catches from me? Probably in the shops, but not for as much as I want to sell them. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The other thing that is worth looking at purchasing is not that. Is there anything worth purchasing right now? No, I don't think so. Alright, cool. We've got a better gun, so we can fight more things, and fights will take less time. Next time round, we will head back down south. We're actually going to go a little bit via the Iron Republic to try and get that port report, but also to buy more fuel cheaply. Until then, have a good day. Bye.